What if I told you that there was once a time when the world looked to the East for innovation, philosophy, medicine, and scientific advancement? A time when libraries dwarfed anything in Europe, when scholars debated Aristotle and translated Plato, while much of the West was struggling to recover from collapse. This was the Islamic Golden Age. Between the 8th and 14th centuries, most people have no idea how deep, how revolutionary, and how global its impact truly was. Today, we journey to an exploration of a civilization that shaped medicine, mathematics, architecture, and our modern lives. Upon Prophet Muhammad's death in 632 CE, the nascent Muslim community faced leadership questions. The Rashidun caliphs united tribes and rapidly expanded. By the Umayyads and Abbasids, this expansion became an empire stretching from Spain to India, an empire built on learning and tolerance. What followed was not just the spread of a religion, but the foundation of a civilization. A new empire began to emerge, and with it, a hunger for knowledge. The Golden Age of Islam began in the 8th century under the Abbasid Caliphate. Their capital? Baghdad, a newly constructed city that became the intellectual heart of the world. Caliph Harun al-Rashid and his son, al-Mamun, invested heavily in science, art, and culture. But why? Why did this explosion of learning happen here? In 762, Baghdad rose as the Abbasid capital. Soon, Bait al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom, became a world-class center of translation and the most renowned center of learning. Greek, Indian, Persian, and Syriac texts were translated into Arabic. This wasn't just copying words, it was synthesis, debate, refinement. From Aristotle to Ayurvedic medicine, scholars made the ancient world their own. Who were these scholars? Al-Kindi, the philosopher of the Arabs; Al-Farabi, who bridged Plato and Islam; Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, whose medical texts would be used for centuries. They weren't just thinkers, they were giants. This knowledge didn't stay in one place. From Baghdad, it traveled to Cordoba, Cairo, Damascus, and even into Europe. Muslim Spain, Al-Andalus, was a glittering gem of multicultural learning, tolerance, and architecture. Meet the man behind the word algorithm, Al-Khwarizmi. He didn't just preserve math, he invented algebra. Abu Ja'far al-Khwarizmi authored Al-Kitab al-Mukhtasar, setting out algebraic equations. He also popularized Indian numerals, now called Arabic numerals. His name is the root of the word algorithm, integral to every computer code today. Without them, no modern science, no computers, no GPS. In astronomy, scholars mapped the stars, corrected Greek errors, and developed celestial models centuries ahead of Europe. The astrolabe, improved and popularized during this period, became a symbol of Islamic science. In cities like Moraga, Damascus, and Samarkand, astronomers compiled star catalogs more accurate than Ptolemy's geocentric model. Under the patronage of rulers, they measured eclipses, computed planetary tables, and refined celestial mechanics. Avicenna, or Ibn Sina, wrote the Canon of Medicine, compiled centuries of knowledge, from Hippocrates to Persian herbal traditions. His work on diagnosis, contagion, pharmacology, and a logical approach to disease was centuries ahead, a textbook in European universities centuries later. Meanwhile, Islamic hospitals were advanced, segregated by illness, with pharmacies, written charts, and even mental health wards. This wasn't just progress, it was ahead of its time. Art and architecture exploded in beauty and symbolism. From the intricate mosaics of mosques to soaring domes and elegant calligraphy, beauty was seen as divine. Even in the prohibition of figural art, Islamic culture found astonishing ways to express creativity. Islamic civilization also built technologies, crankshafts, surgical instruments, and more. Al-Jazari authored Book of Ingenious Devices. Imagine a world of water clocks, programmable machines, and mechanical servants in the 12th century. Al-Jazari made it real. He pioneered early robotics centuries ahead of his time. Before Newton, there was Ibn al-Haytham. Ibn al-Haytham used empirical methods to study optics. He built the first camera obscura and showed vision results from light entering the eyes. not from rays emitted by them, shattering millennia-old Greek misconceptions. Philosophers like Al-Farabi and Averroes preserved Aristotelian thought, and Avicenna integrated it with Islamic theology, arguing for harmony between faith and reason. They asked the big questions about logic, the soul, and the divine, and they argued that faith and reason could coexist. Islamic hospitals called the Bimaristans were public hospitals. They had wards, pharmacies, libraries, and even mental health services, offering care based on diagnosis, cleanliness, and compassion. They separated wards by disease, an early model of modern healthcare. Trade routes carried more than goods, they carried ideas. Silk from China to Spain, Baghdad to Timbuktu, spices from India, and Greek texts traveled through the Islamic world to Europe. No golden age lasts forever. The Golden Age required political stability, strong central rule under the Abbasids, and regional integration across provinces maintained peace and trade until invasions fractured it. The Mongol siege of Baghdad in 1258 dealt a devastating blow. Libraries burned, scholars killed, and the House of Wisdom destroyed. The cohesion of the empire unraveled. The Islamic Golden Age wasn't just a period of Muslim achievement, it was a gift to humanity, and it's time the world remembered it. Though the Golden Age ended, its ideas lived on. Latin scholars translated Arabic texts in Toledo and Sicily, fueling the Renaissance and modern science. Its legacy lives in hospitals, algorithms, optics, because our present is built on its past.